Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about lung volumes, which is important to know for all freedivers. This video might be a little bit boring. However guys, it's really important to understand what this lung volume means, because in the next few videos we're going to talk about a few important topics. For example, is it possible to increase your total lung capacity? How to dive with the exhale, etc, etc. So to understand such topics, you need to know what this lung volume means. And guys, before we continue, my name is Sergey. I'm a freediving instructor trainer, and on this channel I'm sharing everything what I know about freediving. Alright, so lung volumes. There is more lung volumes and lung capacities than these four. However, this one is the most important one. So the first one is the total lung capacity. This is the maximum amount of air which your lungs can accumulate after full inhale. So when you maximum inhaling, this is your total lung capacity. So technically it is a maximum amount of air which your lungs can accumulate. However, freedivers is a unique people in some way, and freedivers found the way how to put more air, and this is what packing is. So it is when you finish your full inhale using your respiratory muscles, and then there is a highly advanced technique how you can pack more air in your lungs. Guys, I'm highly against packing for beginner/intermediate freedivers. I think that this technique can be really dangerous. So yes, this technique exists. Packing is existing for sure for high-level freedivers, for high-experienced freedivers. However, guys, if you're a beginner or intermediate freediver, you definitely don't need to do any packing. So one more time, total lungs capacity, it is the amount of air which you have in your lungs after full inhale. The next one is the residual volume. It is the amount of air which you have in your lungs after full exhale. So when you do like forceful exhale, try to exhale as much as possible, this is the residual volume. Usually it is about 20-25% from your total lung capacity. So it means that your lungs can become smaller 4 or 5 times. And again, this is going to be really important for one of our next videos. So at this moment, try to remember, residual volume is the amount of air which you have in your lungs after full exhale. And this is roughly 20-25% from your total lung capacity. The next important capacity is a vital capacity. It is the amount of air which you can move in, move out. Remember, residual volume, it's amount of air which you could not remove if you're a normal human being. Freedivers can do a little bit. They can do negative packing. Again, this is a really advanced technique. So vital capacity is normally, it is a total lung capacity minus what you have as a residual volume. And the last one is the FRC. And guys, this is going to be important when we're going to talk about how to dive with the exhale. So FRC, it is the amount of air which you have in your lungs after passive exhale. So you inhale and then passively exhale. So this one is your functional residual capacity, FRC, amount of air which left in your lung after passive exhale. This word we're going to use when we're going to soon discuss option to dive with a full or partial exhale. Okay guys, so one more time, this is for the most important lung volumes or capacities. It is a total lung capacity, maximum amount of air in your lungs. This is a residual volume, minimum amount of air after full exhale. Vital capacity is the difference between total lung capacity and residual volume. And the last one is the FRC, functional residual capacity. It is the amount of air in your lungs after passive exhale. And I completely forgot about one more. The last one, sorry guys, I completely forgot, is a tidal volume. This is the volume of air which you inhale and exhale when you're breathing in a relaxed way. And again, it's important to understand what is a tidal volume as well, because when you're talking about relaxation breathing, usually recommendation is to breathe with your tidal volume. When you nicely and easily inhale and exhale passively, this is your tidal volume. Tidal volume can be changed. The tidal volume is connected with your metabolic state. So if you do some kind of sport, if you do some kind of activity, then your breathing is going to be increased, the depth of your breathing is going to be increased, and this means that your tidal volume is going to be increased as well. But normally when we talk about tidal volume, we're talking about tidal volume in rest. This is one which you use before your breath hold. This is the so-called relaxation breathing. Hopefully this was at least a little bit interesting, and if it wasn't, sorry, but again, this is a really important information. This is what you need to understand. If you forgot, double check that you remember it. We're going to use these terms in our future videos when we're going to talk about how to dive with the exhale, and also soon I'm going to make a video, is it possible to increase your total lung capacity or not? And a little disclaimer, it's possible. We're going to discuss how to do it. Okay guys, one more time, hopefully this video was interesting. If it was, don't forget to click the like button, and I will see you next time.